Welcome to Brawlhalla.
So yeah, this is a very, very close match, and it might depend a lot on what Tiffany chooses to try and counter the very, very obvious Cosolix lands that we will be seeing on screen. And turns out we have Thea. This could be the very, very first time that we see Thea locked in during a competitive setup like this. And Tiffany on the Tigers definitely made some very good use of Katars in the past. We have yet another Qatar Demon Island matchup. Stop me if you've heard that one before, but still, Tiffany has played this Tigers for a while and has found some pretty decent success with it. We've seen the Ragnir. I'm trying to remember what else. Tiffany has definitely played a lot of Qatars, and that Sword, a very, very good secondary to follow up. Cosolix, a very interesting choice with Thea.
Yeah, Tiffany, definitely a guitar master. We've seen her on Suri, we've seen her on Ember, we've seen her on Azoth. Well, Azoth is accent though, but we've seen Tiffany has a wide array of characters, and we all know Cosolix as the Lance guy. Like, he is the Lance person. So, wow, okay. Very fast gameplay from Cosolix is going to take that first stock off Tiffany with a nice little Insig read and recovery into that. And we're going to see how Cosolix is going to handle Tiffany's Qatar gameplay. Very, very interesting. Sidelight Dare. Going to put a little bit of damage on Tiffany. And I think Cosolix is just looking for those Sidelight Dares, off into those reads. And I don't know if I'm tripping, but I've seen this on Twitter. Like, it's a fast fall down air, D-light, and light is like true or something on Lance now. So we'll see if Cosolix has been labbing that is going to pull that out in this set. Oh, good one. Oh
that
my god.
is one of the best recovery moves in the game because it places... Oh, that's wild. That is wild to get away with. That Insig is going to be one of the best recovery moves in the game because it puts out that hitbox before it actually moves your player there. Think about a lot of recoveries that kind of increase your height. If you got things like Hattori Sword Ensig, if you think about things like Orion Spear Ensig, those move both your hurt box and they place a hitbox. So you're putting yourself in harm's way just to try and cover some space. Thea, she stays back. Her character and her hurt box stays back as the weapon goes forth and places a hitbox forward, and therefore is a very safe option. Maybe not as safe, but at the same time not as flashy as this ledge guard that we have coming out from Tiffany to even out the game. Just like Magdi and Goichibo, Cosolix can take as many stocks as he wants, but Tiffany's always able to reverse it and say, no, that one didn't count.
Yeah, very exciting seeing that ledge guard come out from Tiffany, kind of evening up the game. Well, evening up the game. It's so crazy how spontaneous and combustive cards can be off stage. So I love to see these super high echelon edge cards come out. And what's super cool is seeing Cosolix on that Thea and how he's using the SIGs, because the only Theas I thought are spammers. So it's good to see someone who understands the weapon and who has been labbing the character. He's definitely been talking about how this is who he's going to play in Dallas. And these SIGs are super vital coming out. It's so crazy. I don't see it coming, because something that's super big about this game in particular is the matchup knowledge, right? These things are kind of wacky. It's not like the normal thing you're expecting. So not many people know what she does. Me personally, I know her SIGs, but I'm just never expecting what they do because of matchup knowledge. She's a very new character, so that's some slight advantage Cosolix may have his hip going into this game too.
Well, let me give you and also everyone in the chat at home an excuse. A reason about Thea is her signatures are basically light attacks. They come out fast. They're very hard to react to. They're like Jala Jala Sword D-Sig. They're like Rayman Axe D-Sig. They're light attacks. They're too fast to react to, unlike a lot of other signatures. A lot of other signatures, you can see them crouch back or cock their arm back. Cosolix is able to cock his arm back and get that ground pound, but still, you see a lot of characters have some level of a startup animation for a lot of their signatures. Thea sometimes just doesn't.
Yeah, and what's so scary about this Cosolix Thea combo is that Cosolix is definitely like a super movement heavy player, and you give a player like Cosolix 10 speed. Oh my god, going up in the air. I can't even like get my sentence out because of what Cosolix is doing right now. Tiffany, don't counter out because she's definitely holding her own in this game, getting that knockout right there, and has to get bars to see if she can put some damage on before she loses her second stop. We're going to send her way off the screen. Cosolix Insig is not going to connect and here for some sort of knockout. Will it be the D-Sig? Will it be the side air? It will be the GC side sig that's going to take Tiffany out the screen. Opting for Lance.
I'm happy that you brought up the matchup because Cosolix, any Lance into any Qatar, people could argue over that for a while, but Cosolix's Lance specifically into any Qatars is a bit harder to argue about because Cosolix, think about it, has fought against Wrenched many times and even teamed with them for a while. There was like a span of a year where Cosolix and Wrenched were entering like any community tournament that they can, and they didn't do half bad. They were able to snag some top 8s for themselves. So Cosolix knows what it's like for Qatars to be on the stage. I know that sounds very obvious, but his experience running into fighting and also fighting with Wrenched is proving to be very helpful and always kind of knows what Tiffany is going for. And Tiffany is able to bait out the rest of that down signature and punish it with the weapon she's able to snag away from Cosolix, but still needs to play a perfect stock. We have seen some pretty cool reads come up from Tiffany, just like you said. We've seen some pretty flashy plays come up from these Qatars, and she's also been very good about manipulating the weapon cycles that she always has Qatars to not spend too much time on sword, but she's gonna have to spend some time at an 0-2 deficiency in the set. What do you do in this scenario?
Oh boy, I don't know. Already having Qatars and the Lance is kind of a difficult matchup just because of the range deficit, and then you go against quite literally the best Lance in the world. One of the best Lances in the world. He did beat Wes in that best of 5 on land, but one of the best Lances in the world. It's like maybe you swap characters here. Tiffany's not going to swap because she's definitely confident in her skill, but it just seems like Cosolix is kind of dominating this set so far, especially with the speed and with the matchup knowledge with Qatars and just the Lance and the strings, and it seems like Cosolix is doing everything right. And I'm glad you brought up his match history with Wrenched because I'm pretty sure Cosolix has a level 100 Holgrim, level 100 Sword Roland, and all of his Lance legends are like super high level. So he just knows the weapon. He's a master of the weapon. We've seen so many players that are masters of their legends. We're seeing a master of the weapon, Lance. Everyone knows Cosolix as the Lance guy. So although he's on the boots now, kind of putting in that work, we're seeing that Lance master really come out and shine in this set. Recovery's gonna send way up to the top, not gonna kill. Nice juicy side sig.
Thea's speed also gives her better mid-air acceleration and movement speed, so Cosolix was able to evade out of Tiffany's recovery, bring the match back down to the ground, reset back to neutral, and win the better of those neutral engagements to bring Tiffany down to second stock. Cosolix also doing a very good job of changing up the weapon cycle, making sure that he always has Lance doubled down, and to always make sure that he has a fresh Lance on deck whenever he needs to. Tiffany gets clashed out of that recovery, trying to punish Cosolix's own, and a lot of his weapon throws are being quite effective from Cosolix, letting him close the distance and get some stun frames on the Tiffany.
Nice,
wow!
Insig.
You almost never see that hit at this level.
Very nice Insig to even up the stocks 2-2. Although Tiffany is kind of behind in damage a little bit, she's on red. Definitely, she can bring this back. We've seen her make super crazy plays like in game 1 with that edge guard. Gonna evade that down sig that Cosolix is throwing out, and it seems like Tiffany is kind of adapting a little bit to this playstyle. Is gonna get hit by that cider, but it's not gonna die. Gonna fight her way back to stage. It's gonna dodge the down sig, but at that cost, is gonna lose all her options. Cosolix is almost a whole stock lead over Tiffany in game 3. Oh my god! Reverse snare into reverse cider. Reverse snare again. Look, he's just hitting. Everything's hitting. He's too fast. Oh, Nair again? Like, he's just... Wow. Yeah. Side air is gonna catch Tiffany off. She's not dead yet.
Ooh!
I'm too.
That is dirty.
It's so fast. That's gonna be a swift 3-0 from Cosolix. But you know, both players played really hard. You know, shout out to both players. Shout out to Tiffany on that series. And wow, props to Cosolix. You know, putting in the time and learning how to play that field. We all know he knows how to play Lance, but you also have to understand how to use the Sigs. And he was playing a little bit of Battle Boots there too. So shout out to Cosolix for showing people what you can do with this new legend.